least. He at least hits it, and he is 6'7". So in the middle, he could cause some damage, but you're going to need some good passing if you're going to get that. And finally, you need to roof the other team, not just be a wall, because you don't want to be a target for the Hersey hitters either. You need your approach on every hit. It's if Elk Grove doesn't mind their P's and Q's and do those things, it's going to be a quick match tonight against a very, very strong Hersey team.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit everything right on the head there. The Grens coming in on a 4-game win streak with a win the other day at Wheeling High. 2-1 was the final, so they went into 3 sets. Here in the high school level, it is best 2 out of 3, unlike the college level where it is 3 out of 5. Hersey comes in on their own win streak of 3 games. They're 9-0 away from home court, 7-0 in conference, like we said. Hersey already beat the Grens this year 2-0 on April 12th. The score was 25-14, both of those games. And it looks like we're getting ready to get underway here in the gym at Elk Grove High School.
Yeah, the referees up top is Guillermo Hernandez, and down the down judge is Oris Sandalak. I've had both of them on reffing, and these are absolutely terrific refs in the region. So you won't get any bad calls, and if you do get a bad call or two from these two, forget about it. These are very, very good refs.
As Krebs lets us off here, Gren's first attack gets it over, and the Huskies will get the first points with Saluski, an Augustana commit from Connor Krebs. He told us all about Saluski and Richie Johnson, the Dominican commit where I work, and that's Will Kraft, the head coach there, a great program in Dominican. Krebs sends this one over. And second attack is going to be blocked at the net. Saleke gets it blocked, and it's a 2-0 Husky lead.
And that's what I was talking about earlier. On the first point, they kind of mishit it. It was a semi-roll shot, easy dig. The middle hit down their throat. The second one tried to tip it again, and Hersey put the block right back down in their face.
Yeah.
You got to hit it like that.
And that was a kill from Ruder Saleke, I believe, hit that one. And it is 2-1 now, so Grens will get their first serve of the evening. And Ben Unger will go back to serve.
Yeah, number 13, Surratt in the middle on that big hit. I like that he hit it. He didn't tip it, crunched it through the block. That's what Elk Grove needs to do more of.
Krebs the set, and this one's going to go out of bounds by Arrowwood. So 2-2 here. Then you said it, Surratt. He's going to be the big killer for the Grens. He's got 2.5 kills per set, not too bad. And he also leads the team with 31 blocks on the year. And serve over. Richie Johnson holds it, and that one is slammed to the ground by Rory Broderick.
Broderick is the right side on Hersey, and of course smashed that on the left side.
Yeah.
Obviously 3 strong hitters, 2 outsides and the right side, and we haven't even seen the lefty Krebs hit yet.
Arrowwood hits the top of the net, handled though by Bananek, and they're going to try and get Surratt, but he was just able to tip it over. Blocked at the net and continued. Krebs sending it over to Broderick, and he'll hammer that one down as well. 4-2 now, Huskies.
And that's what I was talking about also earlier. Elk Grove did block that initial hit, but it was a wall, it wasn't a roof. So the ball came back and up on the Husky side. They picked it up, went to the right side, and Broderick left, no doubt.
And that's going to be a ball handling error there by the Grens. That's McCory.
Yeah, the referee called a lift on that play. Ball kind of rattled around in his hands, held it a little bit too long.
Yeah.
That's what the definition of a lift is: catch it or throw it. He caught it.
So also here we have, just to say, jerseys are all whites for both teams. Just the bottoms for the Herseys are black, with the libero being orange for Hersey, and then for the Grens it's in a black. So pretty tough here for both teams wearing whites, but we'll do our best, and hopefully you guys can tell the difference on the television as well.
I liked how Arrowwood, though, cranked the serve. You hit it hard, sometimes you're going to miss. You want to have a high percentage of serving, but if it's a deadly serve, it's real hard to return. You get a lot of points.
Yeah. And then we got a nice little rally here. Krebs going towards back row, and Arrowwood still kept alive by the Grens. There's a big view blockage in my view here. And Arrowwood sends this one over, and that one hits the back line, and it's going to be out for the Huskies point. They lead 6-3 now. And Saluski will go back to serve.
Yeah, where we're sitting is in the corner of the gym here, so right by the aisleway for people to walk in. Of course, they wanted to wait there until the play ended and then walked
Exactly.
on in. Now that's 2 serves in a row. Arrowwood and now Salewski both missed. So you would think that maybe Hersey could have a bigger than a 6-4 lead, but just 2-point lead because of 2 missed serves.
Yeah. And there's a returning favor there from Sarat, and it is now 7-4. You'd like to see the Grens take advantage of these missed serves by the Huskies, but instead on that one, they gave it right back to them.
All right, so let's see if we get treated to a back set. I'd like to see Connor Krebs nail a couple off of Samuel's set.
Samuel comes in to serve.
And misses a serve. Says 3 serves in a row from Hersey.
Sloppy play here so far by the Huskies. That's not like the 10th team in Illinois. As we've said, we're going to be in a treat here for 24-2 team, but right now they're playing a little sloppy. Grens sends this one in play, and that's going to be a kill there on the other side by Rudra Patel. He just set that one right over.
Yeah, Richie Johnson Libero moved up on the play and it went behind him, so the back middle has to make that play. But they pulled within 1 on it.
Yep, 7-6. And that one is sent to the ground by Kuban, and is now 8-6.
And that's what Hersey has. They have hitters that can hit hard from anywhere. Greg Kuban's normally left side hitter, hit it from the right side and put a lot of heat on that ball.
Yep, and now Kuban back to serve.
Just like in baseball, you make a great play in the field and you get to be the first batter up.
Yeah, and that is a ace for the Huskies, as mishandled there by Bananek.
Yeah, Charlie Bannock needs to get back and pass the ball with a platform, not with his hands. This is too hard of a serve to take with your hands. I mean, I get it. Boys are strong here, but get back and pass it with your platform.
Second serve, that one will fly out of the back line.
So my little missed serve counter's up to 4 now for Elk Grove, and I mean for Hersey, and that then means 4 players in a row have missed their serves also. Yeah. I mean, sure, he had a couple in or 1 in before he hit that one out, but 4 serves, that's 4 of Elk Grove's 7 points.
Yeah, as Padua for Elk Grove sends this one over. Johnson is able to handle. And then now we get to see the first look at Krebs, and he absolutely kills it. 10-7.
The tough thing for other teams to have to face is other teams don't have a Krebs. They don't have a lefty that's tall and can jump and hit their head on the ceiling before they hit it, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to prepare for it. You just don't see it in practice.
As Johnson's serve was handled, and the Grens try and get their own, but it's mistouched by Unger. And then Krebs will get his 2nd straight kill, hitting that one off the body of Bananek.
And again, Elk Grove has to put some mustard on the ball themselves. They can't just throw it over the net with no pace on it. Hersey is going to get that every time, and somebody's going to hit it down their throat. They have to hit it and hope for tooling the block. I'd like to see them run a lot more middle.
And that one's tipped at the top of the net, handled though, and this one's going to be sent out of play. Hersey's looking for some tips, but Arrowwood hit that one out the back line, and this is going to stand as a Elk Grove point, 11-8, and Bananek back to serve.
Bannock. And then Alex Ortloff was in there across the front, and they just didn't set him at all. I'd like to see him get to be a lot larger part of the offense.
Yep. Krebs.
I suppose there could be a pun in there somewhere. He is 6'7".
Yeah. Ortloff, believe he played football as well and some basketball as well. So I believe is a 3-sport athlete.
Well, I'm not entirely objective. His older sister is actually at Harper, and I wanted her to play middle hitter at Harper, but she, I guess, had some kind of an injury and said she wasn't going to do it. That was last year. As far as I know, she's still at Harper College in her 2nd year, and I wish she would play. And I'm assuming if she's got the same kind of genes for being a good middle hitter that Alex has, he's a good player. So then I watched him on video, and boy, he's got some muscle.
Yeah.
And that's what Elk Grove needs. They need to set somebody like that a lot, have them crank the ball as hard as they can, and that's how they can keep the game close. And maybe a serve off the net or something in the back row, a line call, anything to win the game late.
Unger sends it over, and that is going to be Arrowhead sending that one out of play. So 12-10. The Grens hanging in there right now. It's still not too far to overcome, but they got to make some more damage here and get on a little bit of a run. Right now it feels like they're just trading points.
Well, Arrow would hit that on the side of the ball, and that's why it went out of bounds. That was a really nice dig.
Yeah, that was a dig there by Unger. Gets it off the serve, and now that one's going to be tipped and going to be a kill for Broderick of the Huskies, and he'll go back.
I have to watch him again, but I think Broderick might be hitting off the wrong foot, which you're supposed to try to do, just like in basketball in a layup. You want to make a right foot, left foot, and then hit the ball. It looked to me like it was left foot, right foot. He tooled the Elk Grove blocker, which is what I want Elk Grove to do back against Hersey. But it was a nice kill down the line off the blocker.
As that dig off Bannock hits off the ceiling, but both teams save and rally together.
So even when you do tool the blocker, Hersey can still get it.
Exactly.
There you
And that's going to be a point and kill by Salike. I believe that's his first of the this evening, and it's 13-11 here. Grants holding tough.
Yeah, they are. They're only down 2 points. Of course, it's the 4 service misses from Hersey that made it close. But
yeah,
I liked the crank on the outside, even though Hersey dug it, and then he hit the next one too. No wall shots from there.
As McCory back to serve for the Grants. Corey able to hand this one over. Johnson able to touch, and they're going to hit this one into the net. That's Kuban, so 13-12. The Grens within 1 on the 10th ranked team in Illinois.
That set was off the net and kind of low, and Kuban, rather than try to give up the play, in other words, roll shot deep somewhere, he still went for a kill and just mishit it into the bottom of the net.
Yeah, that was the one mistake from Krebs that we've seen so far. Good kid, like you said, he was talking to us before the game, and that's going to be another ball handling error by them. And it's tie game, 13-13 now, halfway through the first set.
Krebs tried too hard to use his hands on that long run. He does have some tape on one hand, maybe that had an effect or not, but he should have got there, just bumped it up.
Yeah.
13-13, how about it? Didn't expect that.
Is McCory able to get this one over, sends it to Krebs, and right back to Kuban, and that one's going to hit the roof off the top from Kuban.
At the end of this game, I think they're going to have to replace the wood floor.
Yeah.
But where he hit it is where a back right defender needs to be. Nobody was there.
As Kim subs in, Dylan Kim for Huskies will be back to serve. Sends it over, handled by McCory, and they're going to try and hit, and that's going to go into the net. That's Petrell, and that makes it 15-13, right back to a 2-point lead for the Huskies.
Yeah, Jay Patel, that was going to be a kind of a roll shot. I mean, first, don't lose the point. You got to start with that, but hit it hard, hit it deep.
Second one from Kim over the net, and they're going to try and hit Patel again. He'll just have to send it over.
That will not work.
Krebs to Kuban, and that's
did.
a mishandle there, and it is 15-14.
They were doing a timing play on the outside, kind of a fast forward. The hitter outside got in there a little early. The set was a little high, and he just couldn't get all his fingertips on it. If that was a little bit of a lower set, we would have seen some more floorboard repair on the far side.
Surratt back to serve, 15-14, Husky lead, and Surratt sends this one into the net.
But I like his approach. It's a jump serve. He had some pace on it.
Yeah. 16-14 now. Go to 25 here, so 9 points left for the Huskies, 11 for the Grens. And Samuel will be in to serve, Naveen Samuel.
Which means Krebs is in the front.
And that's when they hit to Krebs the last time.
It's still alive, but that's what I want to see more of. Now, Alex Ortloff got the set, but he didn't get all of it.
Yeah.
Right? But he got the set. If he got all of it, then the defense would be backed up a little bit. Now, right now, Hersey, I'm pretty sure, knows he's a good hitter, right? But if you set Alex Ortloff on the middle and he gets all of it, you can get a lot of points that way.
And it seemed like he didn't even jump on that last kill attempt there, as now Kuban sends another one into the back row for a kill, 17-15. Did you see that too? Ortloff didn't even look like he jumped.
Well, yeah, he jumped, but he's his second kill from the right side. He's only in that right side for one rotation on serve receive. So both times he sided out. 6 rotations later, got the second one. There we go.
Over, and that is a kill from Unger, 17-16. Gren's still hanging in as we get into the later stages of this first set.
Elk Grove's doing a great job, but on that one they hit it. They hit it hard, went through the block, and that's the secret. That's how you got to get there from here. And then, of course, Hersey will have to tighten up their block and play a little bit better defense and hit hard themselves and stop making so many missed connections and missed serves.
As Padua back to serve, looking to tie this one up for the Grens. Gets it over, Johnson handles, and they're going to go to Arrowwood, and that dig is going to go out of play. So 18-16, Husky lead.
That was a nice cross-court shot as well. Hersey's been pestering the line for most of the game. That was the first cross-court shot that was hard, but it was almost dug.
Johnson
Another
into the net,
serve.
so that's 5 serves for the Huskies. with you take those out, it's a 6-point lead for the Huskies in 18-12, but it's a different story with 18-17 now.
Well, plus then and then they get more serves after that.
Yeah.
I think people forget that. You miss your serve, you also give up the opportunity to get more points.
As Krebs hits it off the head of Ortloff, and that is going to be a kill for him. He's been fun to watch. I mean, this is still the first set, but he's been extremely fun to watch.
Yeah, that was Sartre in the front row that he tooled, and I was intrigued by the other outside. Whoever's in the front row with him did not choose to block. I think if you're Elk Grove, even if you're not tall, you have to block.
And that is
another lift.
Yep.
So the referee didn't like the way that the setter held on the ball for too long and then set it up. So you've had 2 lift calls on Elk Grove setting.
2017.
One hands call against Hersey.
Tipped at the net. That was by Unger, and it is going to be sent down by Broderick, but kept up. Salike sends it out of play. So Huskies now pulling away 21-17, but still a lot of ball game left, and that's good. I was about to bring this up that I think we should see a timeout for Elk Grove, and just as I was about to say it, they do.
Yeah. Well, Salike hit that, again, not hard enough and missed the court. So if you're going to miss the court, you may as well hit it hard missing the court, right? So even if that was in play, Hersey would have had it. And it's probably not good that it went out, but if you hit it too lazy in bounds, you're still not winning the point. So Salike's got to get on board and crank it.
Yeah. That's been the story of it. I mean, for Elk Grove, not hard enough contact, and you said it when we first started, but we've really seen it here, and the real story for the Huskies is their missed serves, but they're hitting the ball hard. I mean, every single kill is going into the rooftops after it bounces off the ground.
Right, and Hersey also, they know that they're only up by 4. This is not a great time for a timeout either, although I understand why they called it, because all you're doing now is you're getting the players in front of the coach who's probably telling them, what the heck, you guys, we're only up by 4 against Elk Grove.
Yeah.
You're ranked blah, 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 and you're 14-2, and you're only winning by 4. I think we expect better. My guess, Hersey will come out of the huddle and play better. And then, unfortunately for Elk Grove, it may continue into Game 2. But if Elk Grove continues to hit it hard, maybe they can keep Game 2 close.
As Krebs will send us underway after the timeout, and they're going to send over to Salike. Salike will hammer it down, and that one's going to hit Krebs in the face. So
that was
21-18.
Yeah, that was a terrific set from Elk Grove. Went all the way out from one side of the court to the other, out by the antenna, past the block so he could use the line, and, of course, hit it hard enough that the setter couldn't dig it. Just a wonderful outside hit.
Unger back to serve for the Grens. He gets the whistle from the top ref, and we are underway. Johnson handles Krebs now, and they're going to look for Brodger, and that will be a point, 22-18. And the Huskies will look to close this one out, 22. Still need 3 more points, though.
Yeah, I'm not doing the stats here, but Rory Broderick 3 times out on the left, 3 times 3 kills.
Yeah.
And then goes along with Greg Kuban's 2 times 2 on the right side with 2 kills.
Arrowwood gets it over again. His dug up and hits the ceiling. Bananek just has to send it over. Krebs looking for Saluski, and that will be a kill, 23-18. And you kind of alluded to it. The timeout I thought was needed for Elk Grove, but this also means there's a timeout for the Huskies, and it looks like Elk Grove will take another one.
Yeah, once you call the first timeout, calling the second one's not such a bad idea. But what do you want? That pass went up into the beam. There's uneven beams up here, right? So it's kind of a challenge to play stuff off the ceiling. Well, that ball was going up with some speed on it, hit the beam and came down faster. And I got to say, Patel made a great job to get under it with a pass to get the ball at least up so somebody could hit it across the net. The trouble is you can't just give him a free ball. So you need to have a little bit more pace on the ball. So Elk Grove back after the timeout with 28 seconds to go left in the timeout. So just kind of a little bit of a breather, mental health break.
Yeah. Just try and regroup a little bit. You have 2 points left for the Huskies. Got to find a way to get the ball and get a couple points on the board. But we are underway with Arrowwood. Bananek will try and get it, and that is going to be blocked at the net by Saluski and Broderick. The attack was by Patel, but handled at the net. So set point for match number 1, or game number 1, 24-18.
Yeah, Salike hit it hard, which was good, but the set was not out by the antenna this time. He effectively got trap set into the double block, and then obviously then got blocked.
Salike again.
That's too late.
Arrowwood handles the attack from Salike, and then now it's Kubin, sends it over. Ortloff with the kill, or that's Surratt, my apologies. Surratt with the kill, 24-19. The run's got to happen now for the Grens if they want to come back as
Yes,
is 24-19.
But what a great set to Surratt, who cranked it. I mean, that's got to be something to build on for Game 2. We want to see more from Ortloff and Surratt, and that's got to be what Elk Grove has to do to get back in this game. Run the middle. So they need good passing. Use your platform, not your hands.
McCory gets it over. Krebs going over to Broderick, and that one is going to fall to the ground, 25-19. The Huskies take set number 1. And what adjustments here will be needed from the Grens?
Well, nothing different than what we've talked about. And the reason we know that Elk Grove hits the ball kind of lightly is, watching them on the huddle videos and stuff like that. You saw a lot of replays of kills, but they were hit softly. And those soft hits are not going to work against somebody as good defensively as Hersey. Oh, we have the raffle coming out here. I guess we're going to take a break through halftime? Or no, we're going to keep going. Okay, good.
Here, yep.
Did you hear the raffle number?
It was not yours.
Oh, darn.
I don't know if they're doing more than one here, but that's what I was looking to see if you did.
No, they're going to do multiple because there's multiple buckets to put the raffle tickets in. So 106. $140.
For a Eve night basket donated by the GE volleyball team. Winning ticket number is 9794150.
150.
All the wrong numbers that you're looking for.
We got three more shots at this.
And for an ice cream basket donated by the Tulis team. Winning ticket number 9794227. That's 9794227. If you have any of those winning tickets,
Oh, I guess that's it.
see me at the table here. And
All right, so about a minute probably now until set number 2. We saw a lot of great plays from the Grens, saw a lot of great plays obviously from the Huskies, and we said that the Grens are going to have to build off playing through the middle. I wanted you to explain more, like you want to see more from Ortloff and Surratt, just get them the ball as much as we can.
Absolutely, as much as you can, and not always from the middle of the court. Zone 5 is in the middle of the court. You got zone 1 on one side and 9 on the other, right? 9 is the right side and 1 is on the left side. What you want to do is pass it well enough so you can run as much from the middle as you can, but not always from zone 5. Maybe from zone 3 or zone 4 even, 2 balls behind the set or anything. Move the middles around, but set those 2 players over and over. We're not saying that the outsides of Elk Grove aren't good. We're just saying they're shorter and not hitting them hard. I think you've got Surratt, who's pretty tall. I didn't see his height on there, and Ortloff, who's 6'7". They both, I'm looking at them from here. They're both about the same height. They both jump really high. They both can hit the ball hard. That's how they got to get back into the game. They're going to have to hope that Hersey continues to miss serves or use their platform to pass them. Right now, the libero there, Charlie Bannock, has had some struggles with trying to use his hands on those hard Hersey serves. But I think if the game's going to be won, that's where it is. And then also what we haven't seen is very many blocks that Elk Grove has gotten. They do have 2 good middles, blockers. Maybe they can get a block or 2 more. But it's hard because Huskies have pin-to-pin hitting.
Yeah, and the height is very much so on the Huskies side. As Arrowwood
There was the block we were just talking about,
we were
right?
just talking, that is Surratt with the first block and gets the Grens' first point of game number 2.
So it's a good start.
Yeah, and Bannock will go back to serve. And serve is sent over. That's Kuban with the handle, and now they're going to go right back to Arrowwood, and that will be a kill for him. So blocked at the first attempt and then gets a kill for the second. And it is 1-1 early here in set number 2.
Yeah, Laura Gerber is an excellent coach, but I like her approach here where she's using the outsides to hit from the right side and her right sides, the opposites, to hit from the left side on serve receive. It makes it harder for the other team to track where the good hitters are going to be on the next set. So unless you're scouting the team ahead of time, you're not really sure where those hits are going to come from, and she's hitting from different locations than what you would expect those hitters to be at, and it's a very effective strategy for her.
And they're moving around a lot. I mean, the plays, and that one is miscommunicated by Johnson and Krebs. 3-1 early Gren's lead.
Yeah, that's Krebs' ball unless he has to go too far. But I think what happened is Johnson kind of spooked him by taking like a quarter step forward, and then Krebs stopped, figuring out Johnson, you can bump set that up. But Johnson didn't hear a help and then backed off. And like you said, a communication error between setter and libero.
So that one's Krebs going towards Broderick, blocked and stayed in.
There we go.
So that is going to be blocked from Surratt. And was that Ortloff or Salike with the help on that one?
Well, Salike was helping and Ortloff with the block, or Surratt with the block, and we've had 2 blocks out of 4 points. So again, we were talking about that's another way to get back in the game. You got to get the middles, get more involved in blocking.
Johnson handles the serve. Krebs cross court to Kuban, dug out by Padua, and now Salike with the tack and out of bounds off the back line.
That's
4-2.
Unfortunate. He got under it and made a good hit. It's just unfortunate he didn't have enough snap and the ball was about 6 or 8 inches out. It was to a spot where there was nobody at.
Yeah, he hit it in the right direction, just like you said.
Now, I like this adjustment Coach is making here. Gerber, right, is putting in Anthony Williamson to serve. He's a DS. At least she's going to expect the ball inbounds.
Yep. And that one was served to Padua. Padua hits it right over the net, and Saluski made him pay as that one hit the floorboard into the roof after that. So 4-3, the Huskies making a little bit of run of their own now.
So good call, putting it in a different server. No missed serves. Boom.
And Surratt sends this one down. Good play right off the serve.
Right, that's what happens if the serve is easily passed right to the setter. And like we said, they had to run middle a lot more, and they are. They've got 2 middle blocks and a Surratt kill and a little bit of a lead.
5-3 is that lead, and McCory will be back to serve for the Grens. McCory sends it over.
Williamson stayed in and shanked that.
Yeah.
So he got you, 1 point or 2 points, then stayed in back right and gave up a point.
Yep. I was going to say, he looked a little awkward, uncomfortable trying to receive that one. I bet McCory goes right back to him here. I mean, I would as well.
You bet.
And
but he didn't.
That one goes out of play. Was towards the direction of Williamson, but also Arrowwood was right there. So now Samuel back into serve. 6-4 is our score with the Grens leading at the moment. Samuel sending it over. Banek towards Salike, or that is Patel. It blocked at the net. Grens still have it. Surratt back to Patel. Kept up once again by Bananek. And that is just going to be sent over by Patel. And like you said, free ball. Krebs now with the attack opportunity and sends it over the back line. 7-4, Grens lead. Good rally there.
There's some good blocking from Hersey. Elk Grove needed to push their sets to the antennas. That's why Hersey was able to make those blocks, but then Hersey just made the uncharacteristic hit it out of the bounds play.
As Surratt sends it over on the serve. Samuel just was able to tip it back over, and they're going to feed Salike, or that's Patel, my apologies, and that was blocked and sent out of bounds. So 8-4 right now is our score, and it looks like the Huskies are going to make a couple substitutions once again here.
Well, they're putting the libero back in.
Yep.
That was that sequence of subs there. But what I liked about that from Elk Grove, Patel hit it hard. He got the lucky tool off the block, and therefore the point and 4-point lead now.
Yep. And they're going to go to Guban, and Guban has been pretty much automatic all night.
From the right.
Yeah.
What I did like, though, about that exchange, too, is Gerber had an opportunity to put in another DS into the game to get a little bit of court time. He did serve well, but then shanked the ball, which might say, maybe that's why you're not starting.
As Guban, after the attack, will go back to serve, sends it over, handled by the Grens, and it's going to be attack from Patel, blocked at the net, and that was Arrowwood and Saluski both there.
Now, Elk Grove has to look at that and say, what just happened? They had the outside hitter hit, and they had a triple block on them. So the whole gym knew, at least the whole team, Hersey knew where that ball was going to go and set up the triple block. So Elk Grove has to find a way to hit from other locations.
Yeah.
And, long slide here from Alex Ortloff, perhaps. So starts on one side and runs all the way to the other antenna, gets a slide, for example. That might be a good thing to do. Got to get away from a triple block.
Kuban sends that one out of the back line, so Grens point 9-6. And we're back underway here. Miss pass on that one.
Well, it was a set. Again, it was just not well connected. It was a fast set to the outside. When that connects, it's a fantastic play, and obviously they're working on it.
Timing was just a little bit off.
Well, they're working on it.
Samuel's going to set Krebs, and that's going to be a point off the hand of Patel and Ortloff. But 10-7 is our score now.
Yeah, it was a nice hit. Again, tooling the block. Krebs is just so high up into the air, and Patel, bless his heart, is only so tall and can only jump so high, and you're just not going to stop Krebs on that kind of a hit.
Kim into the serves it to Patel. Patel the other Patel, and right back, and that's going to be blocked at the net.
And that's
from
why
Markworth.
Yeah, and that's why you just can't tip it or roll it over the net. You need to put some force on it. So Elk Grove, in practice, what they want to work on is first kill, get that first pass up, and to get the set to a location where they can, hit it, not tip it.
Yep.
Like here, that's not going to set and make a good for a hit here, and it's not a good hit. It's just hit over with two hands.
Samuel Krebs. Krebs gets it deflected and kept up. Bananek to Patel. Right back to Patel. Bananek able to keep it up. Krebs slams it down, and he is going to be said for catching that one. So,
well, what happened there is the ball didn't. My guess from this view and the signal is that the ball did not cross the net. So one molecule of the ball was not over the net when he reached over with one hand. Now, if the ball was coming over and he used both hands, he could have done that. But no, he chose to attack it with one hand. You got to hit it with both hands on a block, or wait till one molecule of the ball is on top of the net before you hit it.
With one, gotcha. Cross court attack by Kuban, handled finally by Bananek.
Yeah, but again, it's a hand set over the net from Elk Grove, and Krebs made him pay.
Yep. As they have very often, if they've gotten two attack opportunities, the second one most likely has fallen for them.
Yeah, they need to, again, what they got the lead with in this game, block from the middle, right, and then set the middle and hit hard. Don't hit it over two hands. There's not a good pass.
11-9.
So here we go, another free ball. That's not going to go well.
And that one's to Kuban, to Krebs, to Markworth, and a Markworth kill. So 11-10 now.
Yeah, I think that's Markworth's first kill of the game.
Yeah.
Playing middle. I think last year he was a setter, perhaps. But anyway, nice kill in the middle.
Krebs to Salike. Going to be blocked at the net on Unger's attack.
And recovered, still in play.
Still up. Krebs, cross court to Arrowwood and into the floorboard. And it is a tie game, 11-11. You can make your wish here now as the Huskies have come all the way back to tie this one up at 11.
Well, that was that fast set to the outside, this time executed from Krebs on the set rather than Samuel on the set. So a perfectly done set.
Krebs into the net on this one and gives the lead right back to the Grens. Hopefully the Grens can make a little bit more of a comfort now.
It figures Hersey finally ties the score up and then chumps the serve.
Yep. That's been the story. That's the second one of this half, or second one of this game into the nets. So Arrowwood is unable to get that one over the net. So another missed play by the Huskies. That was actually Broderick, not Arrowwood.
And that's like the first play Broderick hasn't gotten a kill on that I can recall at least.
Yeah, whenever the Huskies seem to need a point, they've gone to Kuban or Broderick. Also, Krebs is thrown into the mix as well every now and then, and when Krebs has gotten an attack, it's most likely been a kill. As they go to Arrowwood now, and that is another point, 13-12.
I like that again, Arrowwood on the right side as opposed to his natural left side position, and it was a tight set, obviously intentional, and then Arrowwood, all he had to do was dunk it down in front of the poor libero who had no chance to get that ball.
Arrowwood. Serve 13-12. Bananek hits this one off the ceiling. Good recovery, but it is another free ball.
Patel again.
And that is Broderick on the tack, and it will bounce out of play on the dig opportunity. So right back tied at 13.
Yeah, you have to, the viewers have to look at this later and see. I think he's running off the wrong foot. I have to watch him next time when he hits. We have to replay that. I think he's putting the wrong foot forward. Still, he cranks the ball really well. He's well above the net on those swings.
Arrowwood with the ace.
Yeah,
Padua just jumps out of the way.
The Red Sea parted on defense over there. But finally, now Hersey with a point lead. They were at 13-13, and finally with that ace serve, took a 1-point lead.
First lead of the second game as well for Hersey.
Right.
Been tied 3 times, and we are tied a 4th time now, 14-14, as Arrowwood sends it over the back line.
Hersey is destined to keep the game close.
Yeah. This is definitely one of Hersey's not best of the year so far, 24-2, but this one is giving them a scare a little bit, and it's their own fault. As Johnson's going to attack with Kuban, and that is into the net. So the Grens have a lead again, 15-14.
If I were coaching, this is when I would call a timeout. Okay, it's 14-14. You just put the ball into the bottom of the net. That you're not focused enough here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like a wake-up call. But, Laura Gerber has a game to wait. If they don't win this, which, if it doesn't happen, they've got a game 3 coming.
Yep, 16-14 now as Kuban sends that one over.
2 in a row.
Yep.
So he's been very effective from the right side, but maybe not so much from the left side. So now if you're the setter, you're looking around, who's my right side hitter? Who's my middle hitter?
As Unger back to serves, sends it Johnson. Krebs right back to Kuban, and he won't miss that one.
Yeah.
That was a layup for him.
Instead, darn it, I'm just going to give you a better set than the last 2 and let him crank it.
You said if you were a coach, well, you are a coach. You're the coach of the Harper University women's team. So.
Harper College, yeah. Junior
Harper
school.
College, yep.
Local here, Palatine. So I want all the Elk Grove and Hersey girls players to go play women's volleyball at Harper.
As Johnson sends it over. Unger to Patel to Salike, blocked at the net,
Nice.
and point for the Grens, 17-15.
And that's what Elk Grove has to do. Continue to hit hard, continue to tool the block. They've done some of that, and they have a 2-point lead again.
And now McCory will go back to serve with this 2-point lead as we get close to the later stages of set number 2. Grens looking to push it to 3 and make it a win-all set. Krebs to Kuban, and that one will be point Grens, 18-15.
Apparently that outside hit was out. And one thing I will say, too, this libero, Richie Johnson, who's the one that's going to Dominican, you're going to see a lot of next 4 years, is a really good passer.
Yes. And that's what I personally, working a lot of Dominican games, thought we needed a lot of, so he can make an impact right away his freshman year next year at Dominican.
Yes, no doubt.
As it will be a timeout Huskies here as they're down by 4, 19-15, as the 11-19 Elk Grove volleyball is coming close to making it a 3-set game.
You're in a good spot right now. You've got the lead, right? So all you need is 6 side outs. You don't have to score any points on the serves. You just got to side out one at a time. But you obviously can't afford to give away points. So you can't just 2-hand over it. You can't give them free balls. You have to hit it. And if you can tool the block on those 6 times, you've got this game. And then you at least force a game 3. And again, anything can happen.
Yep.
On the other side, Hersey, I'm sure Gerber is saying something along the lines, your focus just isn't there. We need to execute a little bit better, make more precise sets, stop hitting plays that we can't get kills on out. And for gosh sakes, you've missed enough serves to last all week. Okay, so what you got to do is get the last few serves in, because every time you miss a serve, Elk Grove gets 1 point closer to the win.
And Hersey was the first team back out. I feel like the team that calls a timeout is usually the one scrambling for time, but not in this case. Gerber said what she had to say and sent them right back out.
Well, and I of course want a game 3 so that we get a longer,
a longer little
game,
broadcast.
right? Get more for the money.
As McCory sends it over, Johnson, Krebs, and Guban with the kill. Diving effort by Bannock, but it will fall to the ground. 19-16 now. Exactly what Gerber and the Huskies wanted coming out of the timeout, and now they get their own serve with Naveen Samuel coming in to serve as he has the whole game.
So Krebs made that set. He kind of like, while he's in the air, is turning, so it almost looks like he puts one hand on the ball, turns a little bit, and then gets the other hand on it. There's a touch, right?
Yep.
But now he's in the front row.
And Bannock
one-handed.
off the backboard in the ceiling.
That's not hard enough.
Nope, free ball coming, and from the back row, Arrowwood will get the point.
Arrowwood's effective everywhere.
Yeah, and it's 19-17 now. Looks like momentum back on the Huskies' side. Feels like this is kind of a must point here for the Grens. They do have a 2-point lead, but all the momentum seems to be shifting towards the Huskies' side. As Surratt sends a ball right towards us and out of play. 19-18 it is.
Yeah, this is Elk Grove giving it away here on that hit that's out, and then that roll shot right before it.
Patel over the net.
Tip.
Johnson, Samuel, Krebs.
And that's out.
Out of play as he did. It was mistimed his jump a little bit there. And 2018 now, 5 points away for the Grens.
You know, not a good time to hit it out. You could have tied it up at 19 all right? If you just keep it in and keep playing good defense, but instead hit it out and, keeping Huskies up against the wall. I still want to see a game 3.
Surratt to Johnson. Missed a little communication, but they handle it. Kuban unable to get to it, so 21-18.
Another trap set situation, this time from the back row. He put it too tight to the net. Kuban, who's been absolutely deadly from the right side, just couldn't reach it.
Yep. Surratt.
3-point lead, 4 to go.
Johnson, Samuel to Kuban, tipped at the net, and that is going to be point Grenz.
Okay, now what happened here is the ball was 100% on the other side of the net when he hit it. So he jumped real high and reached all the way over the net when he hit it, and that's what Guillermo Hernandez called. So it makes it a 4-point lead with only 3 to go.
Yeah. Surratt tips off the net, and that's going to be a fantastic ace for Surratt. 5-point lead, 2 points left to go, and it is going to call a timeout for the Huskies. Well, in a do-or-die situation.
Yeah, now what I'd be saying in the huddle here is you have a choice. You can come back and win this game here, or you can just, lay down, right, and then make sure you win game 3. The only good thing about going to game 3 as far as the Huskies are concerned is they get 25 more points worth of experience, right?
Yeah.
But at 18-23, I'm going to guess they're going to give it everything they got to, for pride, if nothing else, to, continue that record. 24 and, well, the sets aren't on here, but they have just a tremendous, very few sets they've lost this entire year.
I believe it was 48-1 and 9 lost on the year.
Yeah, no, I was looking for the set, the set games, because Hersey doesn't lose sets either, let alone matches. This is a huge moral win for Elk Grove if they can win this game, but it could also be demoralizing if they don't finish.
Yeah, as you have a 5-point lead with 2 points left to win. If you blow this, it's pretty tough. But Grenz keep this one up off the attack from Saluski. Patel over the net, and now Kuban. Well, diving effort by Patel. Orloff kept it up. Another free play. Saluski is going to get a point. 23-19, and Kuban's going to be back to serve for the Huskies.
Give Elk Grove credit for keeping that ball alive as long as they did. Hoping that the Huskies would make another mistake, but this time the Huskies didn't.
Kuban.
Now they have to get all their serves in. They can't afford to miss any anymore.
Yep. Diving effort by McCory. Patel cross court, blocked at the net. That's Krebs and Saluski. And 23-20. Seems like the Huskies are steamrolling back into this one.
Yeah, that set by Patel just didn't get out far enough. So, again, he kind of trap set the outside hitter. He led the set right into the middle blocking of Hersey. So, yes, if you're going to make that set, you got to get it all the way to the antenna.
Yes.
I like that Patel hit it, though.
Yep. Set to Ortloff. Dug out by Johnson. And now Kuban in the back row. Bananek. McCory. Patel just going to have to free ball it over. And that's going to be Saluski. Blocked at the net. Continued, though, by Johnson. Krebs with the attack handled. And they're going to try and attack Patel. And this is going to be point for the Huskies. 23-21.
I think it was Patel that went under the net. It unfortunately was a play that was kind of tight, and he was a long way away, so he had to run a long way to make the play and followed through after he hit the ball over, tipped the ball over, and then he landed underneath the net. So that was unfortunate for Elk Grove. But what's also a bright spot for Elk Grove, this whole entire match, first off, they're playing close with Hersey, right? Secondly, their defense is holding up. Yeah. So even though Hersey is getting some, craters, absolute craters on the floor on their side, Elk Grove is digging the rest of the stuff and then keeping the rallies long enough to hopefully get a mistake out of Hersey. So Hersey has been obliging and making some mistakes, but now 23-21. Let's see if Hersey can still pull it out.
Yep. As that was a timeout by Elk Grove, 23-21. Kuban still back to serve, the junior for the Huskies, so there's still a lot of Kuban left here for the Grenz to see, including next year.
Elk Grove hoping for miss serve.
And
he got it.
Yep, and that goes over the back line.
So 21-24. So Hersey needs a point on the side out and then 2 serves for points to get tied in this game. I'm hoping we see a game 3.
Patel.
Good pass.
Over to Johnson, looking for Arrowwood. Kept up by the Grenz. Bananek. Unger, and that is a point. Yep, stuffed at the net by Saluski.
And Arrowwood. So here's the 2 points now. Hersey has to score these two or it's over.
Yep.
Elk Grove's in a good spot. You got a 24-22 lead, and you're receiving the serve twice in a row, and the libero is right in the middle of the court. So right now, and a new server? This is an interesting
Kim,
time to put in a new server.
Kim gets it over. Patel to Unger.
Oh,
and
no, don't hit it out.
Out of bounds, 24-23. Didn't get on top of that one and seemed.
This is a huge serve, down by 1 in game 2. Of course, we got game 3 just in case.
Hopefully, yeah. Kim gets it
miss
over.
Didn't miss the serve. Hands.
Bannock.
Oh, no.
And a miscommunication. 24-24.
Well,
Huskies.
it started with the libero trying to use his hands.
Yep.
He has to use his platform. You don't want to use your hands generally. Now, this is not a hard topspin serve where you can't use your hands. This is more of a kind of a jump float. For the most part, it's just in the court. But right at the libero, you got to make that play.
Yeah. 24-24. Huskies make kind of a unreal comeback here with just down 3 points with 1 point left for the Grens.
Well, they were,
and then bringing in a guy off the bench to serve and get
right.
2 great serves.
Well, 18-23 they were behind, 21-24 they were behind.
Yep. And they've been playing behind this entire second game. At this point of the game, 24-24, it is going to be win by 2 now. And first one to lead by 2 will get the advantage and the win of this one, either game 3 or Huskies will come to 25-2.
Ortloff stuffed at the net. Now they're giving the free ball away. Oops.
Banana Kim to Krebs. Krebs has been automatic, and you can count that one as well, 25-24. And now we are at match point. Dylan Kim has been the story now of the Huskies' second game, coming off the bench, serving 3 straight perfect serves when they needed it the most, and now here comes the 4th. Hoping for a little bit of broadcaster jinx there, but didn't happen. And it is 25-25. Patel with the kill.
What a great right side attack, though. The set was out far enough by the antenna. The block wasn't out that far, and he cranked it. And again, that's what Elk Grove needed to do. We talked about that. They got to hit it, and they did. That was a great hit from Patel.
Yeah.
Then for his efforts, he gets put on the bench, and we have a new server.
And that is Isaac Padua. Back to serve. Lefty. Floats it over. Johnson, Samuel, Arrowwood into the ground. 26-25.
There was that quick floor ball to the outside. Samuel executed it perfectly to the outside. It's just a fast set. Couldn't stop it.
Krebs into the net.
Oh, no.
26-26. Krebs showing a little bit of emotion, rolling that one very hard off the back wall.
At game point.
26-26.
Well, they still have a 1 point cushion here now. They're not up against the 21-24 disadvantage anymore.
Yes. Bannock floats it over. Arrowwood, Krebs, cross court to Broderick, blocked at the net, but it will fall out. So 27-26, match point once again for Hersey.
Yeah, Broderick's pretty unstoppable. He had that one that we missed, but yeah, Broderick has been just outstanding today. Oh, we got a little equipment malfunction here.
Yep, on the far side pole.
The ball hit the block and then the net right by the antenna, and had to adjust it.
Arrowwood into the net, and that is the second time on match point.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Huskies
Hersey is
sent it.
controlling their own destiny. Elk Grove earns the points, and then Huskies give them away. So right now we're back to 27 all. All Hersey really has to do is serve the ball in.
Yeah, Unger floats it over. Johnson, Krebs to Broderick. Broderick continues to be, and that one is going out of play. So that is Gren's point. 28-27 match point.
All we need is another hit like that or a block at the net, anything, and we get our wish, game 3.
And Unger able to get it over the net, unlike the Huskies were too. Kuban, and he continues to be automatic. And we're back to even here, 28-28.
You know,
and we got ourselves a fun one.
I'm sure Hersey is going to, play this back, and of course we have to tell people how to play it back. It's going to be on, EGTV.viebit.com, Vibit.com, and they can play it back. Put highlight films together, whatever you want. But you can tell Hersey has not been focused, and you can tell when they earn those points right there, they are focused. So if Hersey just stays focused on all the points.
Williamson off the bench to serve, tips it over, and that is Salike blocked at the net. And Padua to Surratt, point EG, 29-28. So now we have Williamson back into the game for Hersey, and he is going to step out. As I was going to say, last time they attacked Williamson right away, and he looked very uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's just serving specialist, and he's going out. This little maneuver here puts the libero back in, back right, for the middle. So it's just designated server for the middle.
Yep. And this will be McCory back to serve.
With a chance to win.
Yeah, push to a game 3.
You're counting on Surratt to get a block to win the game. That's what Elk Grove is hoping for here. Maybe a mishandle.
McCory now serving, gets it over. Arrowwood, Krebs, Kuban tipped. It continued though, and that's Patel blocked at the net. Continued by McCory, floated over, diving play.
Don't tip.
Yep. Arrowwood, good rally here, going towards Patel. Patel hits it over, free ball. Krebs to Broderick, who's been automatic but handled. Bananik. Surratt blocked at the net.
There was a chance
Patel.
to win it.
Patel to Patel. Krebs kept it up. Johnson. Arrowwood in the back line. Kept up by the Grens. Patel.
Oh, free ball. That's
Free
a
ball.
kiss of death.
McCory. Johnson. Krebs. Kuban into the net, and he just hunts the fingertips of Patel and gets the point. 29-29. What a rally there.
That was so well said. Hunts the fingertips of the blocker. That's what you're doing. He made that play fantastic. And then Hersey was very careful not to hit anything out. So the attacks from the back row from Arrowwood were just inbounds and well dug by Elk Grove.
So now Naveen Samuel been very well coming in off the bench and played a very big part. Serve, and they're going to try and get Surratt, and Surratt gets the point, 30-29.
Now through this whole process, Surratt's gotten 2 tips for points because he's a big guy in the middle, and you're afraid you can crank it really hard.
Yeah.
But now Ortloff is in.
Yeah, and Surratt back to serve. So both big 6'7" players in for the Grens. Great serve by Surratt, but handled. Kuban blocked at the net. And the Grens are going to force a game 3 on the 10th ranked team in Illinois. 31-29. Grens wins game number 2.
Yeah, now what happened on that last play is the set didn't get out by the antenna enough, so Trap set the hitter, and the hitter unfortunately rolled it into the block rather than over the block. Made for a tough play. You can tell, though, Hersey kind of lost focus in the first 2 games here.
Yeah.
So now what has to happen is Hersey has to go back and really focus. From the Elk Grove side, first, there's a lot to build on. They got points when they went to the middle. They got blocks from their middles, and whether it was Surratt or Ortloff, but Surratt mostly when he got a couple of those tips because he's a big hitter, those landed. But Patel on the outside, he's been a little too careful just putting the ball in play, and I think they got to go ahead and crank it. But it's also partly due to the sets not being out by the antenna. So if you're Elk Grove, as well as you played, and you did play well, you still have to tighten up your serve receive, tighten up your setting, and hit the ball. Don't give away as many free balls or down balls as you have so far.
Yeah, very well said. Pat Henley and the staff of Elk Grove has to be very happy with themselves going in to game number 2, playing very tight and playing very competitive with the 10th ranked team. And the first game only losing by 6 points and then leading the entire game 2. I mean, you just got to keep those same steps and hopefully take down the number 10 team in the state and 85th team in the country.
It's a huge moral victory for Elk Grove here. Absolutely huge. But now you got to win game 3 also.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do in game 3? Well, block with the middles, set to the middles, hit everything hard, no more tips and free balls. And then you can tell by the huddle, Laura Gerber is very intense with her team right over there, probably saying things like play harder, play tougher. We got to execute that. We have to focus ourselves. But what did work for Hersey? They are missing, Michael Seaman, so I don't know how much that matters. In the middle, they did, William Markworth did get 1 kill the one time they did set him. Those fast fours on the outside, I think they need a higher percentage of those to succeed. They're tough when they're good, but they've missed, I'd say, too many of them.
Yeah.
And Hersey's passing has been good. So if the passing has been good, you have to say, setters, I think you're misconnecting on your sets. I wouldn't mind seeing more right side hits, especially from Krebs if you're Hersey.
Yeah.
But I think bottom line, they're just going to tighten everything up.
2 questions for you. One, the easy question. In this final 1-1 game here, do we go to 15 or 25 in this final set?
I'm expecting it to be 25, but that's always a great question. Yeah.
And then second set, if you were Laura Gerber, what would you say in that huddle there? You just lost set to an 11-19 team. How do you get your team back into play?
Well, you have to go back to what works well and what didn't. But I think that huddle was not about what works well and what doesn't. This is like, hey, you guys, this is ridiculous. Focus. Get your serves in. Get your sets to the right spot. Maybe they might say more right side sets or maybe more sets to Saluski or something. But I don't know that Hersey should run more middle. I mean, that's exactly where the Elk Grove good blockers are. I just think the sets have to be located better on the outside more often and on both outsides. I think it's just a large dose of focus. Maybe a little bit of tough love isn't so out of line here.
Yeah.
I'm more, when I do the huddles, it's more about, what worked, what didn't. So let's run more right sides. Let's run more 32s. Let's, set Sarah 3 times in a row.
Yep, and we're underway here in set 3. They go right to Surratt. That's what we've been saying this whole game.
But he tipped it.
Yep. It did not hit it hard. As the second one was hit hard by Salike but handled. Broderick tips it over, and they're going to go to the far side to Unger, and diving effort by Broderick. Kuban hits it, and that's going to fall for point number 1 of set number 3, and it belongs to the Huskies.
Yeah, and I do think Roderick on his hit, he's been unstoppable today, so far be it from me, right? But he's hit a few also right to back middle, and I think he has to aim behind the setter, not to the back middle player.
As Krebs sends set number 2 over, and that one goes into the net off the kill off the attack from Salike.
Yeah, Salike mishit that ball, unfortunately, and now Hersey with a 2-point lead. Elk Grove did a great job taking the lead and staying close in game 2, and you don't want to see them get behind here.
Krebs will get it over, and then Salike with the kill.
That was a nice line shot.
Yeah.
That set wasn't even out by the antenna and still hit it to the line. Good hit.
Yeah, the Huskies seem to be a little bit slow moving towards that block. But now Unger back to serve, down by 1, 2-1, Husky lead early here in set number 3. Unger gets it over. Arrowwood, Krebs right back to Arrowwood, but Arrowwood does not go up for it. Seemed like the ball was in a good placement, but I could be wrong on that.
Well, it looked like it was too far out by the antenna, so the hitter couldn't get to it. Unfortunately, he set the ref stand, we call that. When the player sets it too far out. Yeah. Oh, no, you set the ref stand.
At 2-2 here. Krebs will go to the opposite side, and Broderick blocked by Surratt, and it is now a 3-2 Grenz lead. Hopefully they could keep it here and upset the number 85th team in the country.
Well, I hope Elk Grove takes this as maybe we're better than we think we are, and we can play better and do better the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And you have to give credit to the coaching staff too. If whatever their record is, they're playing great against a very good team.
Yep. And even though the Huskies are throwing this game away a little bit and having a lot of miss hits, miss serves, and everything, the Grenz are doing their part and
to allow it to happen.
Yeah, allowing it to happen and taking care of those mistakes and getting their own points in it. As Unger serves this one on a 4-2 lead, cross-court attack from Broderick, kept up by the Grenz. Bannock just has to free ball it over. Krebs. Cross-court to Broderick. He won't miss that one. 4-3 now is the score. Grenz still with the 1-point lead, but it needs to be quicker here.
Yeah, I'd like to see more hits away from back middle. Every time they hit it to back middle, Elk Grove digs it. They got to get it to that far center corner.
As Arrowwood serves, and that was into the net. There's a lot of people here standing in my view, but that was into the net, correct?
Yeah, Arrowwood served it right into the bottom of the net, not what Hersey wants.
And McCory will go back to serve for the Grenz. McCory gets it over. Krebs cross court. It's going to be attacked into the net, and that was Kuban hitting it to the net. So Grenz now doubled the 3 from the Huskies. So 6-3 is our score here. And pretty soon we'll know if we're going to 15 or 25.
Oh, it's 25. It's I think the non-conference games they sometimes do 15, but conference games they'll do 25.
Gotcha. Kept up here by the Huskies. Grens continue. Patel with this tack. Johnson tips it up, and they're going to go Kuban. Kuban cross-court blocked at the net by Ortloff, and he'll get another one. He free balls it. First free ball, it seems like, for the Grens all game, and Ortloff
with the kill, which we wanted to see more of.
And it is now 7-3.
Yeah, Hersey has to get out of this kind of a funk here.
Yeah.
And
otherwise
you did a great job play-by-play on that. He had to look between softball players.
Yeah, there was about 7 of them just right in our way. That's McCory, actually, so we're going to go right back, and Broderick sends it to the floor. Whenever it seems like the Huskies need a point, it's Broderick or Kuban, and it seems like they've done a good job this entire game.
Well, there's a lot of hitters over there, but Broderick's having an exceptionally good game. And, again, I just can't seem to bring myself to watch his feet.
As Johnson floats it over, McCory to Patel, kept up, and it is both teams go for the block, and it will fall to the floor on the Husky side.
Yeah, the ball was on the Elk Grove side, and Surratt, he's just a good big blocker, and he hit it around or blocked it around the Husky block. It's a good, smart play to an open location.
Yeah, and Surratt now will have to serve it. He's been good serving, and that's another great serve by Surratt. Krebs, though, and it is going to be sent down to the floor by Jay Patel, and 9-4 now with the Grens lead.
Yeah, Krebs put that set too tight to the net and unfortunately trap set the hitter, and, well, you're going to lose that point against anybody. I like the serve.
Surratt handled again, Arrowhead. Krebs, Saluski, out of bounds, 10-4, Grenadiers lead. And Gerber now being a lot more vocal on the sideline for the Huskies.
Yeah, I don't think she expected this. Another good serve coming.
Yep. Surratt, Johnson, and Broderick, and they kicked Krebs out of setting or assisting per se, and that was Broderick with the set. Krebs now back up towards the front, but I saw Gerber literally pull Krebs to the back left corner of the floor.
Well, it sure worked.
Yes, it did.
Another missed serve.
Yep, and Samuel comes in off the bench. He's been very well, at least getting the ball in play for him. This one missed it, and it's 11-5.
Those are those unforced errors. They're just hurting them. The missed serve, that hit from Saluski that was out of bounds on the middle attack.
And that Saluski into the net. 12-5 now. Grenadiers lead.
Yeah, now, they're young, right? So they're pushing and making mistakes, and Elk Grove's letting them.
Yep. Very tense, seems like, on this Husky side, as that's where we're at right now.
And Huskies need games like this to figure out how to play at high levels.
Yeah. Tipped at the net. Johnson.
Yeah, it's a good block from Elk Grove.
Arrowwood into the net. So 13-5, just mistake after mistake. And here comes the timeout for Hersey. The Grenadiers side is extremely hyped.
She called that timeout. It may be a little bit too late, but essentially at the right time. You're down 5-13. You're not playing well. You continue to make mistakes. What has to happen here is keep the ball in play, extend the rally, put the ball deep with some pace on it. Just stop hitting it out, stop serving it out, stop the bleeding essentially.
Yeah.
And they certainly have the capability to come back down 5-13, but it's a long way.
Yeah.
Now, Elk Grove, on the other hand, though, this is where we talked about those first passes, those first kills. They got to get the first pass up, execute a good set, and continue to hit the ball. Even if it's a 50-50 on every swing, on every serve receive, you can win the game getting side outs that way. But you're not going to win the game if you give free balls and two-hand tips away.
Yep.
So that's what Elk Grove has to continue to do.
And they've played extremely well.
Hats off to Pat Henley today. He's prepared the team well.
While we got a quick moment here, do want to thank the EGTV crew, as always, for helping us and putting on these great shows that for everyone to hear and see. But we're back underway, and Saluski gets a free point right off the bat. 13-6 is our score coming off the first point off the timeout.
Well, I love these broadcasts, too. It's 3 cameras, right? One at each end, one at the top in the middle. It's fantastic production.
As Kuban sends it over, McCory to Patel, and that is out of play. 13-7.
That's how you get back in the game fast, by letting the other team hit it out.
As Kuban back to serve once again.
It's a balancing act. Yes, you have to stay aggressive, but yet you still can't hit it out. You can't make too many mistakes.
Bannock to Patel, and then Saluski and Arrowwood with the block.
I remember earlier in that game that went all the way up to 31-29. That right side attack from Patel was just a gorgeous attack late in the game. This one not quite so. The set wasn't outside, and he was just hitting the ball into a double block.
Yep. Kuban served once again. Bannock, Patel, cross court to Unger, handled, and a point though, as there was a mishandle by Kuban. So 14-8.
So Hersey outscored them 3-1 in that last run. So they're getting closer.
Yep.
It was an 8-point lead. Now it's a 6-point lead.
Yep. And now Isaac Padua.
The lefty.
Yep, sophomore only Padua. He's played some very big roles so far that we've seen as Krebs gets a.
So the set was outside the antenna on the right side. He's normally lefty and smashes it really well, but the ball got out to the little bit outside the antenna, reached up his big right hand and just dropped it into the middle of the court. And Elk Grove just didn't see it coming to cover it.
Yeah.
Kim,
he came off the bench and served extremely well, continues to do so. And that is Salike. Salike with the kill.
I think he got an under the net violation.
Yeah, over the net on that one. So 14-10. Now as it was a good drawn-up play there by the Grens, just misexecuted just a little bit.
I like this Kim serving thing. He brought him back in game 2, and here he is in game 3 having to do the same thing.
Kim.
Good serving. He doesn't miss, and he got an ace.
Yep, and a junior for Dylan Kim. 14-11, and now it looks like the Huskies rolling back into it. They got their JV and sophomore squad here, hyping them up. And it seems like pushing all the momentum back into them. Bannock handles the Kim serve. Patel going to be now a free ball from Unger. So Kim to Samuel to Krebs. Krebs down on the ground, 14-12.
Ortloff was put in a bad spot there. It's a perfect pass. So what does he do? Go to that pin or go to that pin? He guessed wrong and went to the outside pin, but the back set to Krebs, and there was just no way for Elk Grove to stop that. And Krebs did not hit it at the player.
Kim, once again, another serve, just floats it over.
It's a tough float, though.
Yeah, as Salike gets a kill this time. Drawn up the same play that did last time, but with the mis-execution, this one not mis-executed, and it is a point for the Grenadiers, 15-12.
But the point there was that Huskies pulled the score to within 2 at 12-14 during that run. So they were down by 8. Now they're only down by 2.
3.
By 3 now, right. So they need a Curry three-pointer.
Yes, as we'll see game 2 for them tonight.
Good dig.
But yes.
And nobody here?
And that will be a point. I did not see who tipped that one over, but it looked like Salike. 16-12. Grenadiers hoping to make a little bit back a run and extend the lead back to 6, 7, maybe even 8.
Yeah, and the game's becoming late in it. It's 12-16. Again, you're at a part in the game where you can win it with just side outs.
Bannock over the net. Kuban, Samuel, and that is Arrowwood with the kill. Looked like the same thing. Didn't even try to hit that one on the ground. Just tried to hit it into the fingertips of the Grenadiers players.
Well, and he had a lot of airtime. He was up in the air eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich before he comes down and hits the ball and hit the top of the hands out of bounds. Again, you tooled the Elk Grove blocker that time.
Krebs back to serve, 16-13.
Didn't miss that time.
Padua, Patel, Surratt continued though. Surratt will handle Salike, and point for the Huskies, 16-14 now.
I like, though, that Elk Grove tried to run the middle. They got blocked, but they did run the middle, and it was hit, and it was covered, but then they hit it out.
Krebs floating it over now instead of the last couple times he's hit it hard with a jump serve, but he keeps it alive on this one. Johnson just has to float it back over, and they faked it to Surratt, but Salike's attack is handled. And sent to the ground is Arrowwood, and the Huskies are back within a point. Do you think the Grens should call it quick timeout here or keep with it at 16-15
You have
lead?
a good sense for the game. Yeah, that's not a bad time because they're coming back, but you still have a 1-point lead. It's way different situation when it's a tie game when you call the timeout versus you're still up by a point with that timeout. So, yeah, that would have been a good time for an Elk Grove timeout.
But unable to do so, and it is sent to the ground by number 10. What's that? I don't even have a number 10.
Well, so now you get a 16-16 game, right? So We were tied 13-13 in game 1. We were tied many times in game 2, 13, and then obviously 24 all the way up through 30 or 29. Now here we are tied again at game 6. It's 16 apiece. So again, no matter what happens, this is an absolute moral win for Elk Grove. And one would have to say they are absolutely on the upswing as far as a volleyball team this year. Again, you have to give credit to the coach. It's a team thing, right? And the team is headed the right direction. Win, lose, or draw, they're hanging in there with a very strong Hersey team who maybe they could play with a little bit more focus, but at the same time, they're still a good team with really good hitters, and the passing has been terrific. Maybe you have to point the finger a little bit at Hersey's setting, but Elk Grove have been playing terrifically, and going to the middle more often is the way to go if they could do that. But now you're not in a spot where you can win the game with a bunch of side outs in a row.
Yes.
You have to now score some points, and that's going to be back to the difficult for Elk Grove.
And the Hersey's MVP here is the cheering section of the other teams for them. They've gotten themselves back into the game without even playing. But Krebs will get it over, and they go straight to Surratt. He tips it over. And then we said hit it hard, but Surratt's got a lot of kills.
Surratt's a big guy in the middle, and you have to fear his hit, right? It's the other players that they've got to hit. But Surratt's gotten, 3 or 4 points on tips now?
Yeah. And that is Unger. Floats it over and out of bounds.
See, Elk Grove has been playing relatively error-free.
Yes.
Even when they do free it over and handle it, to Hersey, they haven't made too many service errors or hits out. At least not too many. Don't start now.
And that was the biggest one to make it 17-17, but they go straight to Surratt.
Yep. And that's what they need to continue to do.
Yes, and he hit that one extremely hard and right into the face of Krebs.
You want to take points, not give them away.
Yes.
And you don't want to say, remember in Little League, your dad would always say, hit it over to the other side, let them make the mistakes. No, you got to be aggressive.
Yes. And now McCory comes in, serves it, floats it over. Krebs to Kuban. Kuban across court. Bannock with a diving dig. McCory, and there's going to have to be a free ball. But Krebs now to Broderick. Broderick floats it over. Another diving play by McCory. They're going to go to Patel on this one, handled. Krebs missed hit and out. So 19-17, the Grens outlast the Huskies on that rally.
Yeah, that set was not located well at all. I'm thinking maybe on those fast forwards they shouldn't be doing that all the time. Sometimes run some fives, which is higher, and then the hitter has a chance to go over the double block like that.
Kuban will get the kill.
Yeah, that was a little bit higher, and it gave him an opportunity to scan the defense, look at the block, and then hit it. Not quite the timing play. So it was tied at – no, it wasn't.
It's not tied at the moment. 19-18, Johnson with the serve. And that's Unger to Patel to Surratt, tipped at the net. Miscommunication, Krebs. Surratt tried to come with a kill, but it's blocked. So now Surratt once again blocked at the net.
I like that they're going to him a lot.
Yep. Patel, Johnson keeps it up. Missed little play there. Patel, now to other Patel.
No, hit it.
Krebs, Sulewski, Broderick blocked and out of bounds. Tied at 19. And this time the Huskies outlast the Grenadiers as they seemed like they were attacking most of that play.
What a great rally.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch Hersey have to, put a lot of effort into the play.
As Johnson sends it over, tied at 19. Patel hits it hard but blocked at the net. Both players, Krebs will send it to the other side.
Not the set I tell my setters to take. Take the easy set. You're right there.
Patel hits it. And in play, 2019, the Grenadiers retake it.
Well, we are definitely in potential upset territory here.
As if we were in the college level, the storming of the court would have happened.
Right.
Surratt back to serve
but
with
they
the
still
1
have to
point
execute.
lead.
He's got a good serve.
5 point lead, or 5 points left for the Grens to get. And
There's
that
one
is into the net. That is Broderick. That is Arrowwood, who's been very good for the Huskies all afternoon. That one goes into the net, though. Surratt.
But another Hersey mistake. That just you can't keep making them.
Kuban to Broderick to Sulewski, dug up. Patel flips it over. Sulewski, Kuban. Kuban will get the kill.
Fortunate bounce.
It felt like it hit the net twice there. Once off of Orloff, and then once again into
it just
the ground.
rattled all over the place there, and then landed.
Broderick to serve, 21-20. Another very interesting and fun game 3 here. Broderick gets it over. Patel Orloff tips it over. Krebs to Kuban. Kuban dug up by Panik.
Wow, great dig.
Krebs flips it over. Banik, another dig, and that is going to be Kuban hitting it off the head of Unger. 21-21. We're tied again here at Elk Grove. And that will be a timeout for Elk Grove. What do you think of this timeout? Do you like this one?
What I also liked is what Hersey did. It looks like right now they're leaving Samuel on the bench and they're letting Krebs set from the front row. And I thought, I didn't say it earlier, but I thought, it would be interesting to see them go 5-1 with Krebs setting all the way around and leaving Samuel out. Now, you lose Krebs' hitting, but you don't really, especially with that passing. Yeah. You give him some good passes and let him blast the second ball. He didn't blast that second ball there, but he really took Elk Grove by surprise by with the attack from the front row. Frankly, it took me by surprise. I didn't notice that Samuel wasn't on the court, right? But so 21-21, Krebs is in the front row. He can hit. Maybe he should hit, given him the right time. But I think if you're Hersey, you still feel like you just have to win the game. So point by point, 1 point at a time, you make sure your serve is in. You make sure you have a solid block. You make sure the tips are covered, right? And then when you get the ball, you execute. And I think you stay away from the timing play. Just go higher in the air and let the good athletes that you have go over the Elk Grove block on the outside.
Yep, and we're back underway. 21-21, set number 3, and that's an ace from Broderick. A very huge ace for Broderick.
Right, and ace or not, that ball was right on the line over there on the far side, and Elk Grove ran it right to the line, even going right down to the ground with it. I mean, if you're going to have a ball land on the line, that's how you let it land.
Exactly. Broderick will have
same spot.
Yep. That one is McCory to Patel.
That'll be a double hit call.
And 23-21.
I know we haven't had double hit calls all game, right? But that really was a double hit, and it was appropriate to be called. Yeah. And they, frankly, just haven't double hit the whole game.
Broderick, 2-point lead now. That one
Hersey.
Out of bounds, 23-22. The Grenadiers stay in it. Off the timeout, it seemed like it was all Hersey.
It was just not the time to let Elk Grove off the hook.
Yes. Patel back to serve. Johnson, Broderick, going to Kuban. Kuban will hit it into the net. We're tied at 23.
And they got a different setter. Samuel's still on the bench.
Yeah, that was Broderick who set that one. Krebs was looking to hit on the far side.
The hope is to get the pass up to Krebs like that.
Krebs will now set that one. Banik
but it's still alive. Good dig.
Patel free ball though. Arrowwood, Krebs, Saluski, Banik saves it. Patel, Unger, and I heard a whistle here. And
I heard a whistle too, and I don't know what they're calling.
What just? So
23-23. Not sure what happened there.
Oh, and it is going to be a point for the
double
Huskies.
hit is what he called.
A double hit. So
it looks like the double hit was signaled in from the down judge, and then the up judge took his word for it. So it's 24-23 now in favor of Hersey. Game point.
Kuban.
And he serves it out.
Out of bounds. We're going into another extra point, extra volleyball here for the second straight game. 24-24. Another just absolutely awful time for a missed serve.
Well, and this server here,
the sophomore
has not missed.
Sophomore too. So Krebs, what a play by Krebs.
There's why they had Krebs in the front row. But I'm thinking, just turn and smash it. Don't even try to set it over lightly. Whatever, it did work. Elk Grove wasn't expecting it and didn't know how to defend it. Now we got Kim serving, who's been very successful.
Absolutely. This is the one person you probably do not want to see.
So now you bet on Hersey to win finally.
Dylan Kim looking to shut it out. Padua, Patel, Salike, blocked and out of bounds, 25-25. Grenz outlast Kim.
Don't you have to say this is like one of the best volleyball games we've ever seen?
Yeah, this has been
25
a lot of fun.
David and Goliath, maybe not so David.
And this will be Banik, who's made some amazing digs off the serves and attacks from Hersey. He'll serve it.
He has had a great game.
And that one's going out of bounds.
Hersey hurting themselves some more.
Yes, shooting themselves in the foot. That was Arrowwood, who's been very successful all game. And a timeout by Hersey, down by 1. Match point for the Grens.
Timeout at game
break.
point.
Yeah,
tough one. I'm a little bit surprised she held on to her timeouts this long.
Yeah,
I think I would have been I don't know, subbing, tying shoes, doing something different to slow this down and figure out how to get back in the game. But one thing we're going to probably get is a good pass from Hersey.
Yes.
So Hersey has been passing absolutely phenomenally well this whole game. It's been the setting that's just been awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, just here, there, up, down, too high, too low, and then you add to that a few hitting errors like that last one. So the whole student section now, the JV team, right,
yeah, both
are all
on their
going to
feet.
get up and make noise.
26-25. The Elk Grove can take down the 85th team here. Can we see it in a point as Samuel checks in? So another setter possibly going to Krebs on this one. I feel like when Samuel's in, they go to Krebs on the attack. But Ben Anik gets it over. Samuel and Arrowwood gets it over. Continued, though, with the block. Krebs attacks. Floats it over. Patel, Bannock. And Patel's going to have to free ball it over. Krebs now. Samuel. And out of bounds.
That's
the
it.
Grenadiers, they win it. They upset the 85th ranked team in the nation, 27-25. And I don't know what to say after that. I mean, what a game for the Grenadiers. And they just pull off an upset. And this is a devastating loss for Hersey. As they go to 24-3 on the year, the Grenadiers will keep their win streak alive, moving it to 5 and move to 12-19.
Well, all you can say is what a fantastic game, right? But Hersey did it to themselves by hitting many out of bounds, missing serves, right? And the last 2 points were both hits from off the court. They just went out of bounds. You just can't make those kinds of unforced errors. So Hersey deserves what it got. But maybe that'll be the wake-up call that Hersey needs to go further into the playoffs, because this is going to be a game they're going to look at and say, gosh, we really blew that.
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
At the same time, on the Elk Grove side, what a great game that they played. They played really good defense. They did utilize the middles, and they hung in there and extended the rally so that they could win the points and ultimately win the game. And they won 2 games in overtime, so to speak, 27-25, and game 2 at 31-29. So they have to be feeling really good about themselves.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you saw in a major upset here this evening, the Elk Grove Grenadiers upset the 85th ranked team. They will not be the 85th ranked team anymore after tonight. And we will see you tomorrow for Elk Grove baseball starting at 4:45. My name is Chris Randall, and I was with Bob Visolette, and we'll see you soon.